It's CenturyLink scouting report time on SoundersFC.com. Hi there, I'm Arlo White. The New York Red Bulls are the visitors to CenturyLink Field, a national TV audience. New York are the Eastern Conference leaders and have some very good players. One of their main offensive threats, of course, is designated player Thierry Henry, French legend. But he won't be at CenturyLink Field because of a crazy end to an eventful match in Portland on Sunday. Henry was red-carded in injury time of that 3-3 draw against Portland at Gerald Wen Field. It was for violent conduct and it was a controversial decision by referee Ricardo Salazar. Let's remind ourselves of the incident. I think Henry is guilty of a bit of disrespect here with Adam Moffat. That's the incident as it happened. Let's take a look at the replay. Here comes Henry up to Moffat, little pat on the head, then suddenly a slightly overzealous one. Moffat doesn't like him, gives him a shove. Now the two of them work it out, but Salazar's had a word with his assistant referee who didn't like what he saw, and Thierry Henry has to leave the field. And because of that is suspended for the Thursday night match at CenturyLink Field. Handshakes all around from Thierry Henry, but I don't think Ricardo Salazar is on his Christmas card list anymore. So Thierry Henry is out. Luke Rodgers is listed as questionable for the game as well. They've scored 13 goals between them so far this season for the New York Red Bulls. Don't forget Juan Agudelo, the young striking sensation. He's on US Gold Cup duty at the moment. According to Hans Backer, the coach, Dwayne De Rosario, the Canadian, and Dane Richards from Jamaica, both back from Gold Cup duty, may start up front together. We will wait and see. So a lot of offensive players missing for the New York Red Bulls, but for me, it's Mexico's Rafa Marquez and the US national team's Tim Ream, two centre-backs who the Red Bulls are missing the most. I'm going to focus on defence today. New York are struggling when high balls are played into the penalty area. There's no doubt about it. In place of Ream and Marquez are Carlos Mendez and Stephen Keel. Look, it's been a struggle for them. Let's revisit that game against Portland on Sunday. So here a long throwing comes into the penalty area. Solly manages to get his head to it, but straight to Jack Dewsbury. He has time to find the corner of the net for the equalising goal. 1-1. Not long after, Dewsbury takes a free kick, curls it into the area. Look at Roy Miller on the far post. Doesn't compete with Brunner. Brunner wins the header. Lovely flick into the net by Goldthwaite. 2-1 Portland. It was almost 3-1 moments later. Another free kick, right-hand side, lofted in again by Dewsbury. They don't deal with it effectively, and in the end it's Teemu Tainio who clears off the line. Look at this, athletic defending by the Finland international. We can find more evidence of their struggles defensively in the air in the June the 4th game against the Columbus Crew at the Red Bull Arena. Let's take a look. Here comes a free kick, floated into the box. Keel completely misjudges it in the air. Overhead kick by James, and it goes just wide. A little later in the piece, look at this long clearance downfield. We'll pause it just there. Keel is struggling. Heinemann is the striker that's after him. Keel has completely misjudged this header. We'll play it on. Heinemann is clean through, and here comes Greg Sutton with a very, very good block. But Keel all over the place there. His goalkeeper has helped him out enormously. Look, Seattle are very good in the air. Think of Jeff Park. Think of Nate Jaquer, Fernandez, Montero. They're all pretty good when balls are fed into the air. Rosales can put great crosses in, as can Tyson Wall. So it's maybe an aspect that Seattle can take advantage of against New York. But it's not just high balls into the penalty area that New York are struggling with at the moment. It's defensive shape that's causing great concern. Shape and organisation, very important aspects of defending in the sport of football. Let's see how Stephen Keel and Carlos Mendez have fared together over the last few weeks. Let's head to the New York against New England game on June the 10th. We'll highlight these two centre-backs. Here's Mendez and here is Keel. Mendez is too high, there's no question about it. Keel's sort of staring off into the distance, has got to decide whether to step up alongside his fellow centre-back. With Lekic on his shoulder, that's a very risky thing to do. We can see here that the New England wide midfielder is about to slide the ball inside the fullback to his on-rushing winger. So we'll play it forward and see how the play develops here. Away he goes, and Mendez is too high. He's been caught in no man's land here, so the winger can get the ball beyond him and into the penalty area. And look what's happened in the interim couple of seconds here. Keel, ball watching, has allowed Lekic to get in front of him. Huge gap between the centre-backs. Let's roll it along and see what happens. A clear clip in the back by Keel. He's all over Lekic there, and that's a definite penalty kick. For me, the centre-backs don't appear to be communicating very much with each other. They're not on the same page. engage. They're out of position and they're not following what the other one is doing. There's no leadership in the centre of defence. So here, Kiel, who we'll highlight just here, has been dragged into an aerial challenge in the midfield late in the game. The ball has bounced Columbus's way, and look at these two Columbus players, the one on the ball here and the number 9 in your screen. Castle, number 15, the right back, has been dragged way inside and will play it on and see the play develop. We'll keep Kiel highlighted, running back into the penalty area. They're in business here for a late equaliser, Columbus, and we'll pause it just there. Look at the passing lane that is opened up here towards Balkan, the young substitute. Kiel here is obviously ball watching. We've got the centre-back highlighted. He's going to the near post. Well, Mendes is already at the near post and Castle is trying to get back. We'll play it on. It comes across, lovely ball, and Balkan, the rookie, finishes into an empty net and rescues a point for the Columbus crew. What about another example of a lack of communication between Kiel and Mendes? Let's look back to the Portland game on Sunday. Here's a good example of it. Once again, we'll highlight Kiel and we'll highlight Mendes here. Actually, this position, not too bad at all. Nice and close together with an eye on their relative centre forwards. Let's play it on. This is where it gets interesting. Portland knocking the ball about, and we'll stop it just there. Mendes has gone walkabout. He has decided on his own to take 2 or 3 steps forward, not really communicating that with his fellow defenders. So suddenly Stephen Kiel has got a decision to make here. He looks across the line and sees that Solly here has not responded at all. So there's this huge area behind the defence. Mendes off here wandering away, and Kiel knows that Palazza's on his shoulder and he's onside, as does this Portland player here. So let's play it on again. The Portland player recognises all this space, Palazza's onside, and suddenly New York are in big trouble here. We'll keep playing it on. He's off balance, he's sprinting back here, Kiel. Palazza looks across and Kiel can only slide the ball into the empty net at Gerald Wen Field against his former club. So once again, a lack of communication between the two New York Red Bulls centre-backs has caused them calamity. And maybe with some sharp runs, intelligent runs by Seattle's strikers, try and pull those centre-backs apart. I think good movement and good runs up front. Seattle could have a good day against this New York Red Bull defence if Kiel and Mendes start together. Kick-off at CenturyLink Field is 7 p.m. on Thursday. The match is live on ESPN2 for a national audience. I'll have the call on News Talk 97.3 Cairo FM. Enjoy the game, everybody. It should be a bumper crowd and a fantastic night. That was your CenturyLink Scouting Report for SoundersFC.com. I'm Arlo White.